Welcome to Super Tuesday, presented by CenturyLink as part of the SEC on ESPN. Tonight here in Gainesville, Florida, on the campus of the University of Florida, the Ole Miss Rebels 9-4 against the number 24 Florida Gators, who are 10-3. They'll try and make it 4 straight wins here tonight with another standout performance from Kayvon Allen, the sophomore from Little Rock, Arkansas. 21 his last time out against the Razorbacks.
What a homecoming for Kayvon Allen, who was the preseason All-SEC selection for the Gators. This man has got to be aggressive from the start. That's what Mike White told us today. But those 21 points at Arkansas, as you can see, come in a various amount of ways. He's got a lot of bounce and a lot of energy.
14 points a game for Allen. One of 3 players scoring at least 10 a game for the Gators. And he's gone 10 of 18 from 3 over the last 2 games. So he's ready to go as the Gators play just their second home game of the season here at the renovated O-Dome, ready to go against Ole Miss, which lost its SEC opener against Kentucky back on December 29th. Here in Gainesville, Mike Cousins, Brooke Weisbrod, glad to have you with us as Cullen Neal and the Rebels open up in control in their road red, Florida in the home white uniforms. Saiz passing out of the post, has it tipped away. 17 on the shot clock, opening possession for the Rebels.
Already 1 deflection for Florida from Casey Hill. Mike, both teams so dialed in defensively. It's where a lot of their points get generated from, is the intensity in which they play defense. And a quick early steal for the Florida Gators.
Allen immediately feeding the posts, going inside for Hayes, who's got the one-on-one matchup. Pump fakes his way into a shot and leaves it short for Saiz. Leading scorer, DeAndre Burnett, number 1 in the red for Ole Miss, 19 points a game. Saiz tees it up from 3. He's just 9 for 26 on that missed shot. Shooting about 35% from 3. Brooks' speed is going to be an interesting factor to watch here in this one for Ole Miss. That game against Kentucky, 99-76, and about 35 seconds in, you could tell that the speed of the Wildcats was far too much for the Rebels.
Exactly. Andy Kennedy telling us today that Kentucky blitzed us early and we just couldn't recover.
Year number 2 for Mike White, a 39-year-old from here in Dunedin, Florida, taking over this program 21-15 a year ago.
The 1-3-1 zone for Ole Miss. Good length by keeping Saiz up high. But the glass is what it's all about as well, Mike. Tonight, it's got to be who controls by being aggressive. At Ole Miss, +6 in the SEC for rebounds. They're one of the best rebounding teams you'll see this season.
$15 on the shot clock for Neal, team leader in assists. And now Burnett. They've got a 5-on-4 situation and a drop off in the lane, but it's an offensive foul.
Devin Robinson taking the charge for Florida. Got to be a good start for Mike White. The feeling of his players diving back into principles. On the other end, Ole Miss. Got to have the scoring from Saiz. He's their guy.
Foul on Mark Canvas, Hyman his first. Allen wide open look. That's been where he's been so hot as of late. Jump ball and it stays here, 2 minutes in. White going up against his alma mater, 4-year starter at Ole Miss from 95 to 99. 3 years in the tournament with the Rebels as well. Robinson dumping it inside. And it's another foul. That's on Burnett on the hold. Allen, for as loud as his play speaks, is a real soft-spoken guy. Talking to him this afternoon about going back and playing at Arkansas, being from Little Rock, and fighting that pull from the home state. He said, yeah, you know what? It wasn't that big of a deal. Play speaks for itself. There's a triple right in the face.
That's the best way to answer your critics. Let your play speak for itself. And Kayvon Allen, quiet leader for this team, knows what he wants.
Going right down the lane. Firminovic trying to slam it home. Ole Miss had 3 turnovers in its first 3 possessions. That would have been quite the exclamation mark. Loose ball. Stays with the Gators. To the corner. Robinson loads up. And connects on the 3.
Get used to this when you're watching Florida. They are a 3-point shooting team. They go deep. A lot of guys like to launch it. Certainly helps set up the press. Another early turnover for Ole Miss. That's their 4th. And Mike, this is a team that struggled with turnovers this year. They've already had 7 games with 15 or more. Andy Kennedy telling us today in shoot-around, it's because we don't have a point guard that dominates the ball.
15 turnovers a game for Ole Miss. Worst in the SEC. Baseline, Hayes. And a tap by Saiz. Saiz going through the double team, and he comes up empty, averaging 16 and 12.
Saiz had a dish off to Hyman. He could have just went for the easy pass and score. Instead, took a difficult shot over 2 Florida defenders. He's their go-to guy, but sometimes getting your other players and teammates involved in the offense can help open options up for yourself.
It's been a perplexed look on offense so far for the Rebels. Their 5th turnover goes the other way. Casey Hill turns it into 2. 8-0 Florida.
Hill might have thrown that ball down for a second. He jumps pretty explosively.
He certainly had the space to do it.
Yeah, he did. He's the kind of guy I think that wants to challenge you too. He's very competitive point guard.
Firminovic's baseline drop-off. Hyman is there for the open look, and it took 4.5 minutes for the Rebels to get on the board here on the road.
The Rebels count on blocked shots. They count on controlling the rebound and getting a fast break, and there's a block for Florida. It's from Hayes. Ole Miss, they're going to struggle to score, Mike, unless they get those points based off their defense. That's why it's so important to get stops, and you see now defense is extended. That zone up high.
Lazy pass. Burnett read it, takes it away. 1-on-2. He misses. Fortunately, he's got the 6'9" Saiz behind him to finish. And that's exactly the type of basket Andy Kennedy said his team needs to finish.
Yep, needs the hustle plays, exactly. The advantage in the fast break, transition offense, you have got to convert. Too many times in the Kentucky game, they had numbers, couldn't finish.
But more importantly, finish it on the first try and don't have to worry about a second. Gators by 2.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by CenturyLink, connecting more than just places. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And in part by Angry Orchard Hard Cider. Branch out.
Back here in Gainesville, Florida, off to a hot start out in front of Ole Miss, 8-6, and what is, believe it or not, just the second home game of the year for the Gators. Mike Cousins, Brooke Weisbrod, glad to have you along with us here tonight as the Gators come in 1-0 in SEC play, opening up at Arkansas. Brand spanking new building here. They played 1 game here in December, and now here's their first SEC game. They went almost 300 days without playing here.
A challenging schedule, plus you have to play your first 11 games on the road. It hasn't been easy for Florida, but Mike White has done a great job in preparing his team for SEC play, going on the road. And wow, what a beautiful new building they have here. You can see the construction. It really did take a long time, and they made a lot of changes. And when you walk in, it feels refreshed, it feels bright. I know the students love it. They're standing right behind us, and we love a closed student section, but There's certainly a long-awaited arrival for Gator fans to have this arena. It is top-notch.
They cut down a little bit on the seating capacity in the reopening of the building, but now every seat has a seat back. It's a padded seat, and you see the trip that it's been for Florida this year, playing in Jacksonville and Orlando, and just one game against Arkansas Little Rock back here on the 21st of December, also playing in New York City and then in Fayetteville as well, and their SEC opener against Arkansas, that 81-72 win. 295 days between home games, going from March 1st to December 21st, and $64.5 million later, brand spanking new arena.
It's a long time to be away from home. You know they appreciate it. You know, having these new arenas it's the norm. Not only a new arena, but where's the practice facility? What do the locker rooms look like? What kind of uniforms do we get? Who's our sponsor? There are so many marketing materials now that go into a young man or young woman's decision about where they're going to play college basketball.
And so much that goes into being a coach, too. It's so much more than basketball. I think that's
crazy.
One of the great points that Seth Greenberg makes all the time, is that people can talk about that, well, the coach should have done this, the coach should have done that. You don't know what the coach has going on the whole rest of the day, whether it's going out and meeting with fundraisers or thinking about design plans for a locker room. Not to say that that's a difficult thing, because it's adding to your program.
There's a lot to manage.
It's a great thing. There's just a lot on the plate. Here's Cullen Neal, the transfer from New Mexico. Off for Davis, who walked with it on the baseline, as the Gators have done a good job there. Chris Chiozza off the bench helped the double team and forced turnover number 6.
Lots of these turnovers, Mike, are unforced, and it's just Florida applying a little bit of pressure. But 6 turnovers and 11 possessions for Ole Miss. They have to clean that up if they want to stay in this game.
From the corner, 3 doesn't go. Offensive rebound, Canyon Barry sends it back outside. Off back iron for Chiozza. And a reach-in foul charged against Barry. His first for the graduate transfer from the College of Charleston. Well, our first 2017 NBA Wednesday doubleheader is a great one, 8 Eastern. It's D-Wade and the Bulls against LeBron and the Cavs. And, oh, yeah, don't forget about Jimmy Butler dropping in 52 as well. And then it's
Jimmy Buckets
to Oracle Arena for Blazers and Warriors. Coverage starts with NBA Countdown, charged by Mountain Dew at 7 Eastern. On the drive, off glass, Hyman's now got 4. It was 8-0 Florida, and now an 8-0 run for Ole Miss. Breein Tyree, number 4 in the red, into the game, taking over the point guard duties here for Neal.
Since they adjusted defenses, went to that 1-3-1, extended it. Florida's missed some outside shots, and Ole Miss has grabbed the rebound, and that's one of their strengths. Go back to that bucket with junior forward from Memphis, Canvas Hyman. Any scoring you can get right now for Ole Miss. They score about 80 points a game. But again, those turnovers that hurt them early on. And Lindy Kennedy talking to us a lot about having all of his guys buying in and getting back to the core principles. Transition defense, transition offense, spacing. Simply just making the pass and connecting with it. Encouraging his guys to run the offense. Andy Kennedy over there feeling like his guys are too stagnant, and they have been.
Into the post for Hyman. Offensive foul, his second. Brooke, I think you're nailing it there too, is that the ball gets to a certain spot on the floor and the motion in the offense just stops.
Right, it's like, ooh, game over. Everything just stops and you go one-on-one, and unless you continue to move the ball and then move without the ball. You know, it's not just about trying to keep the floor spread and passing a lot. You have to be active and look for ways to get yourself open, get your teammates open. It's all about running that consecutive offense and doing it with a flow that you can build some confidence.
Blocking foul under the basket as the Gators have missed their last 5 shots. They'll look to get back into the scoring column when we come back. Welcome back to Super Tuesday, presented by CenturyLink. Thursday on ESPN, it's a Big Ten Pac-12 doubleheader of hoops, 7 Eastern. Purdue, coming off a loss to Minnesota, takes on Ohio State. And after that's over, Cal squares off against UCLA that just squeaked by Oregon State. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app. And to watch ESPN, the Buckeyes will have to contend with Caleb Swanigan. 4 games of 20 points or 20 boards this season. And he's just the second player to do that in the last 20 years.
When you think about the conference that he's doing it in as well, I mean, it's a lot of non-conference play so far, just getting into the Big Ten. But you know, Purdue is a team that's always in the minds of NCAA tournament time. Will they make it? You know, will they get back to prominence? And Swanigan is one of their incredibly big guys in that anchor. He and Haas really solidify the front court for Purdue.
Already 12 double-doubles this year for Swanigan.
Wow.
Drive down the lane, and the junior college transfer Eustace Firmanavičius out of Lithuania puts Ole Miss in front 10-9 after the free throw by Berry. Defense has been extended for Ole Miss, but Berry, who averages 11 a game, finds the hole.
Berry at the simple shot fake, 1 dribble pull-up. No need for Ole Miss and their guards to run and jump. You don't need to block that shot, although you are a shot blocking team. On those deep threes, just get out and contest.
Saiz dribbled himself into some trouble. 4 on the shot clock. Davis goes wide.
Saiz holding on to that ball. A dribble or two too long.
Berry wide open 3. Got it!
How nice of a shot does he have? And I guess you have to with the last name Berry, no matter what.
Whether underhand or overhand,
Right.
perfectly pure for a guy who led the CAA in scoring at 20 points a game last year. He spaces to the corner, another look from 3. Loose ball foul going the other way.
You know, Berry, as you mentioned, coming from the College of Charleston, he's in the graduate program here as a nuclear engineering student. Couldn't even tell you what that means, what road that goes down. It just sounds really smart. It sounds like I wouldn't even make it into the pre-classes.
I just happened to walk by him coming into the arena today, and
Yeah.
so seeing that he had graduated from Charleston with a degree in physics, we started talking about nuclear engineering. He said it's a 2-year program, which was surprising that it's only 2 years, but that at the
Right.
entire school, there were only about 15 students enrolled in the whole program. That was also surprising that there are 15 people who are all
able
in the
to
program.
do that, right?
Yeah.
You had me thinking you were about to start talking nuclear engineering with him, as if you had some theory you were sharing.
Foul on Chiozza, his first. But, hey, the world not only needs ditch diggers, but it also needs nuclear engineers, too.
We need
Somebody's
guys
got to
like
work
him
in
around.
those plants.
Yeah, Canyon's going to be an
And
important dude one
Canyon
day.
Berry could be one of those guys one day if a basketball career doesn't work out in the long term. Jump ball, possession arrow, keeps it down to this end of the floor. .13 on the shot clock for the Rebels. Baseline drive, good finish for Neal.
Neal's last 3 games, 21 assists, just 5 turnovers. Andy Kennedy wants him to get more dialed into the offense. become a scoring threat so far. Had a solid game.
Corner three for Berry. He does it again.
From the same spot too, Mike. So Ole Miss, they have to do a better job of getting out and contesting. Shuffle those feet, close out.
Saiz, and he goes right up. He didn't have to think too much that time. One move right to the basket,
Right, so
and that earned him 2 points.
Less time holding on to the basketball, more time just reacting. That's exactly where he needs to be. And if he doesn't have something, kick it out, readjust, reposition.
The last 9 points for the Gators all coming from Canyon Berry. 10 to shoot. Short corner jumper, nicely done by Justin Leon, or rather Javarius Hayes. The pressure throwing Ole Miss off its game a little bit. And they've got a 6'7" forward bringing the ball up the floor.
And that speaks to what Andy Kennedy was telling us about not having a true dominant point guard. This is the kind of thing that happens.
Hill steps in front and delivers with the right hand.
That's the dunk we were looking for. Knew we could do it. Well, another steal for the Florida Gators. More turnovers for the Rebels. An early lead in Gainesville.
Anish Shroff with his studio update. Tennessee led by 13 at the 4-minute mark against Arkansas. The Hogs closed the first half on an 11-0 run. 2-point game in Knoxville. Mike and Brooke, Happy New Year.
Hey, thank you very much, Anish. Same to you. And the Gators looking to get 2017 rolling the way they finished 2016, and that's with a W. 1-0 in the SEC. They've won 3 straight, now at 10-3. Coming off a win against Arkansas, and Canyon Berry with a game-high 9 thus far, out to a 21-14 lead. Burnett goes from near midcourt. Off the window and trying to finish at that basket has been a difficult proposition in the first half.
Sorry, Mike. Ole Miss with 12 points in the paint. So you can see coming out of the timeout, Andy Kennedy saying, let's drive, let's get in there and create, get to the free throw line, play aggressive. You get those opportunities, you have to finish.
Burnett's got his eyes up, and he goes right to the rim, past Berry. And the foul is number 2 on the guard for the Gators.
The Gators are giving the option of the lane, and good drive by Burnett. Would have liked to see him try to finish with his left hand. I think that could have helped his momentum go toward the basket instead of away from it by using his right hand. But either way, gets the Rebels to the line. One good thing against Kentucky, he did get to the free throw line pretty often. Nailed 16 of 17. Good free throw shooting team.
Burnett at 19 points a game, 3rd in the league, only behind Malik Monk of Kentucky and Yante Maton of Georgia, checking in just under 21 points a game. Robinson from the wing. Fresh 30 seconds on the offensive rebound by Stone. Hill. Off the no-look pass.
Much better defense from Ole Miss. Terrence Davis came out and contested the shot. Ole Miss unable to get the rebound. And Florida's a good rebounding team themselves. They go after the offensive glass hard. They've got the size to do it.
Davis the foul, his first, team's 5th. What's been the difference in the last few minutes defensively for the Rebels?
I just think they've been more aggressive. You know, they extended that zone. They've been active with their hands up, and then when they get the ball, it's get it and go. Vermanovicius has played, I think, a a degree or two higher level just with energy. So he's been in the game, and that's going to affect the rest of the guys. Davis playing a little harder. Burnett.
Foul is on Kayvon Allen for Florida. His first, and it's 1-1 for Firminovic. Just a 41% free throw shooter and gets the front end to roll home. Ole Miss at 9-4, 0-1 in the SEC. Their losses this year: Creighton, Middle Tennessee, Virginia Tech, and Kentucky. And those last two, of course, Kentucky, a persistent top 25 team. Virginia Tech going from the receiving votes category into the top 25 after a Saturday upset of Duke on its home floor in Blacksburg. Firminovic picks up the personal. 6:25 left before the break. There's ball. Allen saves it back for Hill. Stone on the drive to the wing. Allen is good from three.
Really like the way the Gators are moving the ball. You know, if it's a pass fake or a pass, if it's one dribble and looking to get it back to the other side and see what you can open up. I love the way they're rotating and spacing.
They open up the game. The first 8 points, now lead by 6. You know, it's been interesting too, is every entry pass so far to Saiz, same spot on that same block.
Yeah, he likes it over there, and he likes to get low, kind of turn over his left shoulder. He's got 8 points already in the first half. There's that one move, he's able to get low and kind of get eyes on the rim, get by the defender, and use his length, and shoot that half hook.
Contested three for Allen. Whoa.
Man's got confidence, right?
Riding high, shooting 10 of 18 from three over the last couple of games, and 3 of 5 from deep to start the evening here.
And that's what his key was being aggressive from the start. He had a great game and a win at Ole Miss last year, 27 points.
Hill, the senior who just turned 23 back on December 3rd. Lost it as he went down the lane. 3-on-2 opportunity. Neal from deep. One shot done for the Rebels. Allen not as smooth as he would have liked with the drop off. 21 seconds on the shot clock for Florida. And a substitution quickly on the whistle as Hayes is back into the game, replacing Egbunu.
Egbunu wasn't exactly expecting that pass either from Allen. Had he stayed on the ground and just given him a little shovel pass, probably could have ended in a dunk. But Egbunu had his mindset on offensive rebounds.
Robinson needed to get rid of it, and a beautiful reverse layup for Casey Hill.
What athleticism from Hill. I mean, he had that move planned. He felt the defense coming up toward him. He took off, and the grace to hold his balance. That's going to be a charge. It's Burnett with the push-off. Well, Mike White talked to us about Casey Hill making good decisions. I'd say this is a great decision. Off the drive, 1-on-3, and you got to finish. Otherwise, it's not a good decision. But with a little extra English on the back end to make it go in.
It's now 10 turnovers for Ole Miss after that offensive foul on Burnett. His second personal. Marcanvis Hyman with 3 fouls. Hill way off target on the 3. That one drifted like a kite on a windy day.
Didn't have a whole lot of guide to it, you're right.
Allen with the feed ahead. And Hill gonna make that 10 times out of 10.
complete control of the ball. Florida Gators are passing with such confidence. It's precise, too. There's great movement. Anticipation of where the ball's going to go. The players are reading each other so well in the first half here on the floor.
Bad drive, bad foul. Number 2 on Firmanovicius. 3:07 left in the first. Gators lead by 11. They try and make it 4 straight wins.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Degree Deodorant. It won't let you down.
Anish Shroff, Debbie Antonelli at the half. We'll preview Kentucky, Texas A&M, North Carolina. Could they go to 0-2 in the ACC? Advice for Ole Miss.
How about taking care of the basketball, defend the three-point line a little bit?
12 turnovers already in this first half. Mike?
That's what I'm saying, Debbie. Less turnovers. This is killing Ole Miss here in the first half. They got to take better care of the basketball. A lot of them coming unforced, too. Unexplainable.
90s night here, so not only do we get to see old pictures of Will Smith, we also got to appreciate some of Will Smith's finer musical tracks as well during shoot-around.
I didn't know he had a bunch of finer musical tracks.
Well, I would classify them that way.
I know you got them on your playlist, Mike. When
We're
you run, you like to listen to Miami?
We're in North Central Florida tonight, but Miami fits everywhere, all the time. Here's Devin Robinson, stretchy 6'8" junior from Chesterfield, Virginia, at the free throw line for Florida. And the first is good. He shoots 78% from the stripe. Nice improvement for him this year. Second leading scorer on the team at just about 13 points a game, going from 9 points a game last year, up 4 in his average. Here was a guy who was thinking about the draft.
We've seen a lot of Casey Hill tonight, Kayvon Allen, but Devin Robinson is a player that Mike White wants to get more involved in the offense, get him some more looks.
Florida run. Five players outside the paint right now for the Rebels. 3 on the shot clock. And an off-balance three-pointer from Brooks is a shot clock violation. It's been very disjointed on offense for the Rebels.
And they got to try and take these next 2.5 minutes, see what they can create off turnovers. Just try to score off your defense. And clearly the offense needs readdressed, reorganized in the locker room, but for now you can make the effort, try to get some deflections, a rebound, and a fast break bucket or two. Just get some momentum, something to hold on to.
Smart move there by Hill. Dual guards, Chiozza as they play catch in the backcourt. Robinson inside the free throw line shows a soft touch. Tyree, the freshman, tried to go behind the back. He's got a lot of leeway in this offense. A little bit too much that time. Chiozza with contact does not get the foul. Referees signal the hands were straight up. Robinson, extra pass, corner. Chiozza, 28% from 3. No dice. 1:40 to go. The lead is 15 for the Gators.
Ole Miss trying to play too fast, in my opinion. If they were able to slow down a bit, focus more on what they're doing, just honestly focus on the entry passes at this point. They can't even get into their offense.
Tyree's going to have to make a move. 7 on the shot clock. And he gets fouled on the way up, just trying to create something.
That's right. And Tyree came down hard off that drive. That's, those are your options right now.
Tyree, the freshman from Somerset, New Jersey, out of St. Joe's High School in Metuchen, New Jersey, not only has some athletic royalty in his blood as the cousin of former Giants wide receiver David Tyree, but also pretty good pedigree in his family as well. His dad was an All-American lacrosse player at Rutgers. And when he was young, we're talking middle school age, he had an offer to go play soccer internationally. He might tell you still that soccer is his best sport, to go play for a European club squad. But his mom said she didn't want him going that far from home.
Well, you got to stick with what mom wants. You know, at the end of the day, it's probably the best thing to do, but it's probably a pretty decent payday, I think, if you're going to go play soccer in Europe. Wouldn't be too bad, but, you know, interesting, too, to come back from an ACL injury that he suffered in April. And here we are, January.
And really,
and he's
just
on the floor.
Just getting back into the swing of things. Under a minute first half. Chiozza working from Inovichis on the baseline. Outside for Allen, who's got to put it up. Shot clock violation. Allen here in this first half, leading the Gators with 9 points, coming off a standout performance, 21 on 5 of 9 shooting from beyond the arc against Arkansas. But it's been the Gators defense that has been the story of this first half, holding Ole Miss without a field goal since the 5:46 mark. They've gone 0 for 3 shooting, turned it over 4 times in that stretch. 13 first half turnovers for the Rebels. And Burnett gives it up again, make it 14. 1 turnover shy of their season average, not through 20 minutes.
You know, right now, it's just a mental block. It's nothing that Florida is doing so much in their defense that's forcing these turnovers. Ole Miss playing too fast and out of control.
Hill feeds the post, and a rejection by Saiz brings the first half to a close. Number 24, Florida Gators 35, Ole Miss 21 on an 11-1 run to end the half. 14 Rebels turnovers. A better 20 minutes, they hope, is in sight. We go to the studio now from Gainesville.
Mike, thank you. There was a gentleman sitting behind Mike Cousins and Brooke, and he had one of those 1980s Pentex, and as he was flashing and clicking away, he caught a lot of turnovers. As they just mentioned, 14. Ole Miss is on pace for 28. That's not a good thing.
No, it's not. They lead the SEC in turning the basketball over. They've got to take better care of the basketball. The good thing for them, if there is a good thing, is that they haven't been able to run off their, Florida hasn't been able to get any transition baskets off of it. So those turnovers, which are live, have not allowed them to have some easy baskets.
Florida's shooting less than 40% from the field. So if Ole Miss is taking care of the ball, they're in the game, but they're not, and that's why the score is what it is.
Yeah, you want an up-tempo game if you're Florida, and you want to be able to score easy baskets. They've been able to shoot the 3 pretty well to start the game, but let's see if Ole Miss can make an adjustment, take care of the basketball. All
right, Ole Miss trying to get that first SEC win. Tennessee had a big road win against Texas A&M to open.
Welcome back to Super Tuesday, presented by CenturyLink as part of the SEC on ESPN. Back here in Gainesville, Florida, it's number 24, Florida, out in front 35-21 over Ole Miss as the Gators try and make it 4 straight. Glad to have you with us, Mike Cousins and Brooke Weisbrod along with you here at the brand spanking new O-Dome, the first SEC game for the Gators. So far, so good as they get back to playing on their home floor.
Yeah, they feel quite comfortable, especially from behind the three-point line. But, you know, when you have 14 turnovers to work with, gives you a lot of free space and some confidence on offense. You know, Kenyon Berry has a terrific three-point shot. You know, Mike White's glad to get him from the College of Charleston. So is the nuclear engineering program here at Florida. But a 3 from the top of the key, a 3 from the corner. He's got 9 first-half points. Also had some help from his teammates. He's got 2 other guys scoring 8 or more. Kevon Allen is another one of those. He's shot 3 of 5 from behind the 3 already tonight. A couple of steals himself. He's been very active, looking for his open shot, calling for the ball, but great distribution from the Florida Gators. Good spacing, good unselfish play. 7 assists on 13 field goals for the Gators, topped off by the 5 steals from Casey Hill in this nice dunk early in the first half.
14 turnovers, one shy of their season average for Ole Miss. That's problematic. They're going to have to cut down on that here in the second half if they want to try and make it a comeback and pick up SEC win #1 of the season. They coughed it up in 5 of their first 7 possessions and 5 of their last 7 to end the first half. And here to open the second, it's the Gators in the home white, led by Casey Hill. 11 of the last 12 points in the first half belong to Florida.
Ole Miss changing their defense now. Before they were in a 1-3-1.
On the drive, loose ball into the hands of Leon. And the lefty shot puts it up, not enough. Hill, the offensive rebound, feeds the lane. And then corrals it.
Even just maintaining possession after a rebound has been difficult for Ole Miss. It's as if the ball doesn't feel comfortable in any of their hands. You haven't seen a player tonight, maybe except for the exception of Sebastian Saiz. And the threes keep on rolling for Florida. Another one by Kevon Allen.
Nobody has looked more comfortable than Allen with the ball in his hands. 12 points now, all of them coming on threes. 4 of 6 from deep. So his last 2 games plus tonight, he's 14 of 24 from 3. Casey Hill with the personal foul, his first. On the drive, Burnett. And he loses it right into the hands of Robinson.
Tried to do an in-and-out move to split the defenders and lost body control. A lot of times when Burnett gets the ball, Mike, his chest moves forward and he gets off balance. And meanwhile, everything looking right in line for the Florida Gators. Every shot they take, feet are set, the follow-through is nice.
Fight for the loose ball. Saiz to Brooks, who dribbled himself into a trap in the corner. Double team comes for Saiz. Nicely done over the shoulder to score.
Ole Miss, the guards should concentrate on keeping track of the basketball, not trying to do too much, and honestly looking for Saiz. He's been their one go-to guy in this game who's provided some consistency.
He's the only player with more than 4 points right now. He's got 10. Allen, can he do it again? Nearly had the bounce. And a great job by Kavarius Hayes to go up with 2 hands, grab that rebound and draw the foul.
He's almost put that back for a dunk. That would have been a monster play. Already a 17-point lead for Florida.
Saiz the foul, his first. And on the way up, Davis picks up foul number 2. Not a pleasant day so far for the 48-year-old Andy Kennedy in year number 11 as head coach at Ole Miss.
You know, I thought he had some great discussion points today about his team and how big of an opportunity this game was to be relevant. You know, it's been Ole Miss, Florida, and Kentucky. Those are the teams that within the last couple of years have been the forefront in the SEC and the powerhouse. But Ole Miss trying to take that next step. That'd be a win here, but Andy Kennedy talking about his guys having to own who they are and the mistakes they make. You know, I haven't seen them get down on themselves after turning the ball over, so that is a positive. But now you got to learn from those mistakes and be able to capitalize on having the ball in your hands. A lot of wasted possessions tonight.
Burnett nearly turned it over again. Their leading scorer on the year at 19 points a game with just 2 so far. Off of Furmanovich's Florida basketball. Gill getting the job done. 4 assists, but also 5 turnovers in his 22 minutes. Forces the shot there. On the lob and sneaking behind the defense. Davis scores as the Gators let him slip behind. Didn't know he was there.
Maybe the first basket, not by Sebastian Saiz, that the Ole Miss guards have had a chance to make an easy play. Everything they've worked for tonight has been difficult.
41-25, Florida in the lead. Burnett tripped on his way to the basket, going to the free throw line. So it's Burnett who's scored as many as 41 this year, just 2 points tonight. Both of them coming on free throws. And he gets to the line at quite a pretty high clip. Coming into this game, they're taking 105 free throws, 15th most in the country. He's at 105. And now 3 more tonight, 108. The leader is Mike Daum of San Diego State, 148.
You shoot 91%. You need to find a way to get to the line, and I think that's what he's attempted to do. But because he's played so out of control and his chest is too far forward, any contact he makes, probably not going to get the call. And then because of that, losing possession of the ball. And Ole Miss, we talk about empty possessions, 16 turnovers tonight and 10 possessions with one and dones.
Ball is going the other way. Reach in foul on Chiozza, his second personal. And coming off of that game against Kentucky, where you're not going to see a team that plays with that speed throughout league play, but Andy Kennedy told his team, especially Breein Tyree, a freshman who is trusting at point guard on certain possessions, Florida is going to be the team that speeds you up second most to what Kentucky did.
And it's impossible to prepare for the force and the speed that Kentucky brings. You know, and trying to adjust to that and do it when you've got a point guard with, you know, not a lot of experience. You're a team that turns the ball over. It's a recipe for disaster. And another air ball.
Coming up empty. Ole Miss down 41-27.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Samuel Adams. Pursue better.
Well, a second-year head coach in a first-rate and first-year facility as well. Here at Exactech Arena, the O-Dome, and Mike White playing against, coaching against Ole Miss tonight. Former guard at Ole Miss as well. One of the best at dishing it out in school history. Played there as a 4-year starter. Went to the 20, 97, 98, 99. Those were good times in the SEC, bro.
Mike hit the gym. Look at those arms. Mike White, he still looks like he's in shape. He'd probably outrun both of us. A lot of energy, but that's, you know, you got to have that if you're going to be a Division I coach. He had some great stories about his playing time, you know, and the competition he faced. You know, Rick Pitino's Kentucky teams, Tubby Smith's Kentucky teams, the Arkansas Razorbacks, and your 40 minutes of hell. That was the SEC at one of its heydays.
Right now, it's Kentucky and Florida, as far as rankings go, still atop the SEC. Florida at number 24 in the latest poll released yesterday, as they're 10-3, and it's been a good start to the season for the Gators. Their only losses against number 5 Gonzaga, number 8 Duke, and number 12 Florida State, with their non-conference schedule the most difficult for any power conference team.
And you got to like that the losses were close, right? Gonzaga within 5, Florida State 5, Duke 10. So you put together an extremely challenging non-conference schedule. Your first 11 games are on the road. So how much does that prepare you to be tough and battle-tested by the time you hit SEC play?
Spent a lot of time on buses. He said maybe more than anybody else in the country. And Florida State, if you haven't watched them play, that's a dangerous team to be on the lookout for. Not something that Gators fans necessarily want.
Yeah, they don't want to hear you talk about Florida State. That's a bad word around here.
Egbunu at the line, 58% of the year. This Rebel backcourt tonight has been real quiet. Just 5 points, 2 of 9, and the 13th turnover by the Ole Miss guards.
It's Cullen Neal. The last 3 games, he's had 21 assists and just 5 turnovers. And 9 with no turnovers in the win over South Alabama. But the guards of Ole Miss, their handles have fallen apart. Whoa, whoa. How about that rebound, or near the rebound from Devin Robinson. You can hear the crowd.
He looks like if you built a player out of silly putty and just stretched him out, that's the body you'd end up with.
The incredible man
6'8",
there.
200.
Yeah, just perfect basketball body.
I feel bad for him in one sense.
Don't go with the short shorts, Mike, because those are nice.
Trying to find pants that fit. It is
What?
90s night here tonight.
That's
so
right.
The short shorts, although they're in vogue in college basketball, no matter what night it is, are especially fitting here tonight.
They look good. I'm all for the short shorts.
3-pointer from the corner is good for Rasheed Brooks. 12-point game.
Still within reach for Ole Miss. They can get a few more stops and go to their strengths, which is blocking shots on cue, thank you very much, and rebounding. And can they maintain possession after the block shot, and can they score from it?
Can they get a bucket in transition? That's primary offense, and it ends with a 3 for DeAndre Burnett. All of a sudden, a 9-point game. Timeout, Florida.
Quiet crowd here in Gainesville. Ole Miss quietly making a 10-1 run. Right now, the Gators are going to have to regroup here.
You see that young kid? That's what I looked like at about 11:55 when somebody woke me up on New Year's Eve and said, hey, Mariah Carey's about to come on. It's going to be the best part of the night.
Sing?
Oh, wait, it was the worst part of the night.
Oh, wait.
Back here in Gainesville, my cousin's Brooke Weisbrod. It's time for our game track, brought to you by Taco Bell. How about this? North Carolina and Clemson, 49-48. UNC hasn't led since the 15:43 mark of the first half. That's a matchup that Clemson hasn't won since 2010, and it's Indiana and Wisconsin tied at 46.
You know, Jerron Blossomgame has a great all-around game, decided to come back to school instead of entering the NBA draft, which, you know, probably would have gotten selected, played for a team now, but thought, no, I'm going to improve my game. I'm going to kick ball here. We'll reset the shot clock. That takes a lot of courage. I mean, think about how much you're passing up with guaranteed money to go back and improve your game, to get more mature, to be with your team. And wow, it's really paying off for Clemson, especially tonight.
Ain't about the first check.
That's
It's
right,
about
Mike.
the second check and
That's
the
right.
third check. You got to be patient, have a little foresight, and hopefully a good advisor in your corner as well. The Gators corner was a look from Leon for 3. Barry cleans it up. Florida led by as many as 19 in this one, and that helped stop a 10-1 Ole Miss run. That brought us to a Gators timeout. Burnett steps right into a 3. Strong rebound at Egbunu. In the lane, good decision there by Leon.
Got the ball, composed himself, quick pass fake. And what I love most about that play, Mike, it was his jump stop, because he got all his energy, his momentum with him, and allowed him to just let go of the ball so lightly with his hand. And an easy follow through and finish.
Neal tries it from the corner. A lot of one-and-done possessions for the Rebels this evening. In transition, beautiful pass. And it's Leon again on a one-man tear right now for the Gators.
You said it. Chiozza with the no-look bounce pass. Perfectly placed. And as a shooter, that's what you want. You want the ball to hit you in the hand so you can just go up in motion and shoot that three. Let's take another look at it. Off the fast break. I mean, catch and shoot in motion. It's poetry. Play basketball, that's poetry. It's so beautiful.
Real smooth. 12:20 to go here in the second half. And the Gators back in front by 16. Oh, could he do it again? Nearly had it on a good look from the corner.
This is exactly the kind of night that it's been for Ole Miss, and Burnett literally cannot get a handle on the basketball.
He's turned it over 5 times, 19 as a team. They came in worst in the SEC, averaging 15 turnovers a game, and nearly had surpassed that at halftime. Leon wants 3. Halfway down, and he corrals it. Shot fake, 15-foot. Barry's got it. 13 points now for Kenyon Berry.
And Rasheed Brooks didn't bite all the way, even on that jump stop and the ball fake. But Berry, his shot is so right. He feels comfortable with the ball. I really like the way he shoots it.
He's got a game-high 13. Allen behind him with 12, the 2 in double figures for Florida. Chiozza. Oh, two-handed slam, Egbunu.
Wow. Chiozza working his magic here in the second half. Slicing and dicing with the passes.
Saiz tees it up from 3, and that silences the crowd. He's a big man, 6'9", but shoots it pretty well, 36% from 3. Saiz, 13 points tonight to go along with 9 boards. Just sitting on the edge of what would be a 5th straight double-double for the big man from Spain. Berry trying to share, and he did, but to a red jersey. Wrong way, Tyree. And how about that? Shows off some ability, spinning and scoring.
Not an easy shot to hit. And had to put some English on it at the end just to get it up. And that's the kind of transition points, you know, Andy Kennedy wants to capitalize on. There it was a 1-on-3. And he's hoping for more 3-on-1s.
Drop step straight up. And it was a Gator chomp defensively onto the basketball. Tyree. And he keeps the momentum going.
He's hyped. He wants the ball. A young man who tore his ACL in April, started practice late November, barely has any game experience, and he's out here trying to make something happen for the Rebels.
They sit back in a 2-3 zone defense, energized by the made basket, and makes the lead a dozen for Florida. Berry understanding spacing so well, 15 points.
What a great benefit to, you know, being able to go to graduate school and finish out your career at a program that's clearly much more competitive than the one you left. And a lot of players obviously doing that, but man. Florida Gators tonight, Chris Chiozza, the junior guard from Memphis, giving Ole Miss the blues. First of this pass here to Justin Leon for the 3, and then another pretty dish to John Egbunu with the thunder dunk.
Anish Shroff in the studio over on the SEC Network. Arkansas trailed to Tennessee by 13 in the first half. Dusty Hannahs gets open, hits the three. The Razorbacks looking to steal one in Knoxville. They lead by one. Less than 2 minutes to play.
See if they can get back on track after falling 0-1 with a loss against Florida in their SEC opener. The Gators tonight have been powered by Canyon Berry. 15 points, 2 of 5 from Deep Brook.
And the way he's playing tonight, it's hard for me to believe he averaged just 12 a game when he was with the College of Charleston. But more than 900 career points coming into this year. A three-point shooter who can drive is described to us from Mike White. He's done an excellent job tonight of positioning, footwork, having his hands and feet ready, and being an impact player.
Ole Miss ball, 7 to shoot. Tyree has been the hot hand the last few possessions. And a foul on the loose ball. It's against Saiz, his second. It's now 3 of the last 4 games for Berry, where he scored at least 10 points. Quiet against Arkansas with just 2, but 16, 15, 2, and now 15 tonight for the grad transfer. Baseline, nearly a highlight reel finish for Hayes, who's on his way to the free throw line. Firmanovic's his 4th foul. Lead stays at 14. Thursday on ESPN, it's a Big Ten Pac-12 doubleheader of hoops. 7 Eastern, Purdue takes on Ohio State. And after that one's over, Cal squares off against UCLA. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app. And watch ESPN. So we saw UCLA, led by Lonzo Ball and one of the fastest teams in the country, lose on the road to Oregon, and then just squeak by Oregon State, 76-63. All of a sudden, it's like conference play rolls around, and all these teams that looked immortal start to look a little bit more normal when you get into conference play. You just go back to the first day of the SEC last week. Home teams 0-5. Look out.
Everybody knows everything that you're about to run, that you ran last year, and they're prepared. You know, there's a different feel when you start conference play than when you're in non-conference. The emotions get a little higher, a little bit more tight play, and you feel a little bit more anxious. And again, other teams are so familiar with who you are and what you've done. It makes it more difficult to execute. And the games, of course, mean that much more.
It's 8 minutes to go as Robinson gives it up for Berry. He's rejected by Saiz. 2-on-2. Tyree with a lot of contact. Hits the deck hard. Well, he has started to put the pedal to the floor here in the second half. As the freshman from the Garden State is trying to pull the Rebels back in it here on the road.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by CenturyLink, connecting more than just places. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Mike Cousins, Brooke Weisbrod, back with you here in Gainesville, Florida. The dean of SEC coaches, Andy Kennedy, at 48 years old, now in his 11th season here at Ole Miss. And you go back to his first season coaching here in the SEC. Look at the coaches then and now and how much there's been change. And then how things have come full circle for a guy like Bruce Pearl, who's now at Auburn.
Back where he began. Andy Kennedy, the 2-time SEC Coach of the Year in 2007, 2013. You know, we've talked about Mike White, him playing at Ole Miss. So Andy Kennedy got to play for Jimmy V at NC State.
There's Tyree at the stripe, and he talked about before the game the freedom that Kennedy has given him as a freshman. One of the things that drew him from New Jersey to Oxford. That's not exactly the common recruiting path, to pull a guy out of the Northeast and bring him down to play in the South. But he said that's something that was really important to him, was knowing that there's a coach who not only is going to give you freedom to play, and every player says that now. What's the first thing they say when they're getting recruited? I want to play fast.
Right,
everybody wants to play fast. But importantly as well is that Tyree said, look, when I have something off the court, I know that I can go to Coach Kennedy with that too. You as a sneakerhead, you get that vibe from him too. You sit down and shoot around. That's the first thing you guys start talking about.
Well,
he gets along with everybody.
He's got, you know, the low-cut navy blue Space Jams on at shoot around. And I'm thinking, you know, I haven't even seen these shoes yet. Where do you come up with that? But Haley Kennedy, you know, he is a player's coach. And like you said, you know, his players, they want to have freedom. It's exactly why Marshall Henderson was the fit he was in this program. That guy never saw a shot he didn't like.
Nice job by Davis to run the floor and finish. 56-44. So the Gators have not been able to yet put this one away. Off-ball contact. And the push called against Hyman. That's his fourth. So it's Firmanovicius and Hyman, each with 4 personal fouls for the Rebels. 17 fouls against Ole Miss and 4 against Florida. 1-1 here for Robinson.
At the line, Devin Robinson. He'll shoot the 1-1.
If there's any player who has had his season been mentioned in prosperous terms the most, it's been Devin Robinson. The offense certainly has been there. 10 points for him tonight, coming off a 17-point outing against Arkansas in the SEC opener, and now 11. But Mike White says it's the defense from Devin Robinson that's allowed the entirety of his game to flourish.
And Devin Robinson talks about that too, about how defense translates to our offense. And the way that his offensive game has expanded is now more looking to come off screens, looking for the ball, rather than just the cleanup from the guards and when they miss. He's a good offensive rebounder, he's athletic, but that's not enough. You have to grow your game, and you have to know how to get into position, you know, similar to the way Sebastian Saiz has tonight. That's the next step for Devin Robinson, I should say.
Tyrese Carey, the 20th turnover for the Rebels. Hill gives it up. Robinson. Now can Ole Miss run with it? Through 2 defenders. Davis draws the foul. Number 3 on Robinson.
You know, Florida can get back a little bit quicker on defense. You know, they can utilize that principal verticality role, especially with John Ekbunu. Have him stand there in the paint and jump when these Ole Miss guards drive. They're out of control. They're looking to get bailed out and put at the free throw line.
Ekbunu has not been a big factor tonight. 3 points, 1 of 4 shooting. But more importantly, where it could be a bigger impact, he hasn't been. 3 rebounds. And then I think from watching Florida is a part of their game where they can grow with Ekbunu in the post, is if he's able to become a more capable scorer.
He's so instinctual as a shot blocker. You're right, Mike. If he can dedicate more time, stay in the gym after and before practice, work on his reps and his shots. You talk about his size, his presence, what he can do.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Power post moves.
And maybe a year ago, he would have stayed on that right hand and shot a fadeaway out of the lane. Instead, no, you square up, you ball fake, and then you make that power move. You get under the defense of Saiz.
Neal sends it back for Saiz. Certain times tonight, he's fallen in love with that three-point shot. Neal gets a good look.
Ole Miss so small, too, with their lineup out there right now. 6'9" Sebastian Saiz, the tallest guy, and he's out there shooting threes.
Berry goes catch and shoot. 18 points for Canyon Berry.
He's very good. That's terrible.
Berry,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I couldn't help it, Mike. It was there.
And you buried it.
That's right.
Trying to make it a full 30 seconds of defense, and the Gators held for 27 before Neal found the bottom of the bucket. Hill showing a little bit of fatigue on his face as he burns some time off the clock. Tries to make it a one-man possession. Ten to shoot. Saiz saves it back in for Berry. 5-on-4 for the Gators. Berry surveys and delivers again. A game-high 20. Oh, wow. One-handed flying baseline jam, Sebastian Saiz. To take it, and he'll take it all the way to the line. Well, there's been no splitting hairs about how good Cameron Berry has been tonight. He's on campus to split atoms and defenses. 20 for Berry.
There's Oklahoma's Kadeem Lattin. The Sooners look to snap a 4-game losing streak. They're in Fort Worth to take on TCU. That game a little more than 20 minutes from tip, right here on the U.
We don't speak Latin, but we do speak hoops here at the O-Dome with Brooke Weisbrod, Mike Cousins. 3:21 left in regulation as Florida is up 65-49. And Canyon Berry tying his Gators scoring mark with 20 points tonight. Great basketball lineage. Dad Rick, Mom Lynn, and of course Scooter, Brent, John, and Drew. If you look at what Canyon has accomplished, though, of course, it's always difficult to be the last one. Not only did he score about 20 points a game last year at the college in Charleston, he was the first chair euphonium player in high school. Now, I'm sure everyone's going, yeah, the euphonium, of course. It was like a baritone. It is still like a baritone, as a matter of fact. But here's a guy who got his degree in physics, now is studying nuclear engineering here. If you were to put together the prototype of, here's what you need to do to get into college, be the straight-A student, sit first chair in the band and orchestra, and oh, by the way, be a standout athlete, you've got Canyon Berry standing at 6'6", 215 pounds right in front of you.
Right? Plug and play. And I'm glad you corrected me. My numbers had 12 points a game at College of Charleston.
For his career, but last year, up to 20 points a game.
Okay. Career numbers, season numbers.
So it only continued to get better as time
Still
went
is.
along.
Clean that up, John.
Agbuno shakes the backboard again. (67-52). Long offensive rebound for Fitzpatrick Dorsey. And this is where it's 6'11", 255. Agbuno can make his wrath felt.
Right, not blocked out at all. And the big body. It's an easy way to get a bucket for a big man. 6'11", 255 pounds.
we've seen the point guard struggles tonight for the Rebels and documented it certainly very well. Baseline drive for Burnett as he scores and has 12. Who do you think between Neal or Burnett or Tyree has done the best job starting the offense for Ole Miss?
I think it's been Tyree. He's come into the game confident, ready to handle the ball, ready to shoot. And it seems to me that DeAndre Burnett and Cullen Neal have put the effort, but they're trying too hard. They're playing too fast and trying to force things to happen. It's just not going to be there when you force it.
5 to shoot from the corner. Robinson with a running drive. And possession had changed hands before the shot clock hit 0. Neal, the former New Mexico Mr. Basketball. And a corner drive. Firminovic gets the pair. An energy guy for this squad. Now has 6 points. And the foul on Robinson, his 4th for the Gators, whose lead 67-56. Firminovic is at the stripe, the transfer from Three Rivers Community College in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Part of several moving parts for Ole Miss this year. Coming in at 9-4. They're going to have to cut down on their turnovers as they go forward in SEC play. That'll certainly be one of the big facets for them this year. It's coming up next. They face a very energetic but young team as they go on the road to face Auburn. So looking ahead for both squads, it's Auburn up next for Ole Miss. And then a date with Tennessee. That'll be on ESPN2. Coming up on the 7th for Florida. Auburn's a very interesting squad. They had a good non-conference schedule. 4 young starters, freshmen for Coach Pearl. And of course, the midseason addition of Austin Wiley as well, one of the top 25 players in what would have been the class of 2016, but left high school early to head to the Plains. On the drive, Burnett scores. 16 now for the leading scorer for the Rebels. 6-point game inside of a minute to go. And the pressure is on for Ole Miss.
You see Mike White hollering to call a timeout. Chris Chiozza just got caught up with the trap. What a well-executed game plan tonight. Mike White said, when we come out, we want to be strong from the start. We need guys like Kayvon Allen to look for your shot right away, to balance, to pass. And this Gators club has 6 different players that have led the team in scoring within their first 8 games. About 9 guys get time. It's a promising start for the Gators in SEC play.
Trying to hang on and make it a 2-0 start. Just think if they had cut into that turnover margin just a little bit, how different this game might be for Ole Miss. 18 Gators points off of 21 Rebels turnovers.
Well, they had to work so hard just to climb back into the game in the second half. You're right, Mike. Had they just cut those turnovers in half, those possessions where they were unforced turnovers, and simply gotten a field goal attempt out of those possessions, we'd be looking at a much different game.
Coaches track so many things, and Andy Kennedy said one of the things that they track, and a number that they were below 50% on, is the number of times they get down the floor in transition with the ball and are outnumbering their opponents and either score or don't score. And in those opportunities, I feel like this is worth reiterating, they were scoring at below a 50% clip. So it's not just not giving it up, but also when they do get it off of a steal, making those easy baskets easy.
And that's a good formula to look at. You know, how many numbers as a coach can you go through the stats and the efficiency ratings and all of the available tools for you, but to look at that really tells you the story. Hey guys, we're not converting on our fast break chances, and you know, Andy Kennedy telling us that the numbers, they make sense. They define who you are as a team, and it says that Ole Miss is a team that turns the ball over, is a team that doesn't finish in transition. They rely a lot on their defense and block shots to get them by, and it gets them some wins, but it's not going to get them over the hump to beat teams like Florida.
Foul is on Firmanovicius, his 5th. So his day is done. And that'll bring Brooks back out onto the floor. 6-point game right now is as close as it's been since about the 6-minute mark of the first half. And it was 24-20. 9-0 run to get it back to this point. Allen at the line, 23 of 26 on the year. He stays red hot at the free throw line. This is the point of the game where Florida really has a decided advantage as well, where they need to have control of the ball. Good guard play between Chiozza and Hill. Plenty of experience. They can have the ball in either one of those guys' hands. And now they need it back on defense. 1-3-1.
Mike, the 18 turnovers from Ole Miss. Florida's got just 18 points off those turnovers. I thought that number would have been a lot higher.
Ole Miss foul is on number 0. 19 Fitzpatrick Dorsey is second.
Fitzpatrick Dorsey called for the foul. Stops the clock. 30.1 ticks. Back down to the free throw line for Hill. '23-year-old, former McDonald's All-American. This is a big one on the front end. And he's 0 for 4 at the line. Now the Rebels are going to try and strike fast. Burnett from beyond the arc, uncontested right to the rim. And a timeout called by Andy Kennedy. 69-63 with 20.1 to play.
You've never gotten the sense that Ole Miss has been in this game, but somehow they've found a way to make it a 6-point game with just 20 seconds left. You know, Florida, I mentioned those 18 turnovers they caused. Only scoring 18 points off, that may be something they want to go look back at and clip in the film session to say, why didn't we capitalize? What happened? What kind of shots did we get? And take a look at Ole Miss. A couple of road games at Auburn, a tough one at South Carolina. And Missouri, January 21st. So it doesn't get easier, especially for a team that's still learning, still growing.
Full court pressure here from the Rebels. 20 seconds to play. Chiozza to get it in. Lob in for Allen. And no foul just yet. 6 seconds come off the clock there before the reach-in. Got Oklahoma and TCU coming up next here after we wrap things up from Gainesville. Chiozza 0 for 1 at the stripe tonight. Now that will be a number that falls into the remediation column for the Gators after this one. Free throws have not been all too pretty tonight. They missed 6 of their last 7 at the stripe.
Gator fans feeling a lot more comfortable now that it's a 3-possession game. Now
And substitutions, offense for defense as well, as Barry and Robinson take a seat. And it's Leon at 6'8" at the top of that pressure.
Not just contest. No foul.
Down for Hayes, and the Rebels back off the pressure. And that does it at the Odo. Number 24, Florida, the victory. The Gators improved to 11-3, 2-0 in the SEC. And Ole Miss with the loss, now 9-5 and 0-2 in conference play. Once again, the final score, Florida 70, Ole Miss 63. Oklahoma and TCU are next on Super Tuesday, presented by CenturyLink. We say so long from Gainesville and send you to the studio.
Mike, thank you. We'll get it back out to Gainesville for some post-game reaction. Christian James and the Sooners taking on TCU less than 10 minutes from tip. A very young Oklahoma team. Buddy Hield is gone. Isaiah Cousins is gone. Ryan Spangler also gone. And there have been growing pains for Lon Kruger's team. We'll see if they can snap a 4-game losing streak against TCU. Boy, Ole Miss is going to look back at this loss to Florida. They're going to look at the box score. They're going to look at the 20-plus turnovers, which negated a pretty good shooting day for the Rebels.
Yeah, they turned the ball over 21 times, and you can't do that when you go on the road, especially in conference play. But Florida also has a few issues to work out. I thought they didn't get into the tempo that they like to play. They're going to have to work on their execution in the quarter court on the offensive end of the floor. Otherwise, those turnovers and those gifts that they got allowed them to get some easy buckets. Canyon Barry, though, really good.
Still very early in the season. Conference play has just begun. We know Kentucky is loaded with talent. Where do you see Florida in the SEC hierarchy?
I like Florida because I think Mike White has done a terrific job in putting the pieces together that he needs to be able to play the way that he wants to play. You know, they're an up-tempo team, and tonight they learned that they're going to have to be better when the tempo slows down, and they can't dictate the way they want to play. I think their defense is going to have to generate a little bit more for them, and of course the 21 turnovers. You know, you think that's part of Ole Miss's issue of just mishandling, but some of that was caused by Florida's defense.
Now, Florida did shoot the ball from three-point range, at least early in this game. They hit 9 threes, and Kayvon Allen, now he's got 14 three-pointers in the last 3 games. Florida knocks off Ole Miss to go to 2-0 in the SEC. We send it back out to Gainesville. Brooke Weisbrod standing by. Brooke.
Coach White, a 2-0 start now in SEC play. I see you looking at the box score. What are some of the things that your eye gets drawn to?
The field goal percentage, defense, how Ole Miss came in here and shot over 50% from the field. Andy's a terrific coach, obviously. They were really good. I thought that they were really good, keeping us off balance from the jump with switching defenses. We never got into a great offensive flow. Most of that had to do with Ole Miss, and they're very difficult to defend. Saiz and Burnett are just really good. They just give you that 1-2 punch on the post and the perimeter. Didn't finish the game the way that we should have finished the game. Didn't show very good poise or maturity. Made some incorrect decisions. Made it more interesting than it needed to be. But again, a lot of that had to do with Ole Miss.
And how about the play of Canyon Barry? 20 points, 21 minutes. He was a guy that you had said to us can shoot the 3 and can drive. You know, what more do people need to know about his game?
He's really good. I mean, he's coming off the bench, but he's a starter, and he would start for a lot of teams, for most teams, really in this league and throughout the country. And he's been a wonderful teammate. He's a company guy, brings it every day. You know what you're going to get. He's not the stereotypical shooter that if you haven't seen him that I hear people talking about a lot. He's a player. Canyon's a player. He can really get to the rim. He can pass it. He can draw fouls. He's a leader. He's a tough kid. He can rebound. So it was really nice. Obviously, we needed it, but it was really nice to see him get going for him as well. Thought Kayvon really played well. And then, you know, we've got to shore up some other things as we continue to progress through SEC play.
Great. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you very much.